Chapter 7. Elias Vanderbilt stood side by side with Beckett Sterling. Elias Vanderbilt wore a gentle expression, and Beckett Sterling's eyes were full of smiles, but the way they looked at me sent chills down my spine. Jackson Mercer, on the other hand, remained aloof, like an outsider, leaning against a tree and watching with amusement. "Is Miss Silas here again to ask His Highness for help?" Elias Vanderbilt asked gently. Beckett Sterling smiled, walked up to me, squatted down, and looked me straight in the eye. "Miss Silas is currently focused entirely on Ronald Bennett's case. If that's the case, then I'll play the villain for Miss Silas one more time." As he spoke, he turned around and deftly drew a sword from the hand of an Imperial guard. He grabbed my wrist, pulled me up, and threw me onto the back of a horse. Beckett Sterling rode at full speed and finally stopped in front of the house of Coraline Sterling, the treasurer. He picked up the gleaming sword, kicked open the door, and before the gatekeeper could even address him as Sir, his throat was slit with a single stroke, his face forever frozen in terror. In just a short while, several people lay haphazardly in the courtyard. Coraline Sterling knelt on the ground, trembling, begging Beckett Sterling to spare his life. Beckett Sterling turned his head to look at me. Before I could react, he raised his blood-stained sword high and stabbed Coraline Sterling forcefully. Coraline Sterling's blood splattered everywhere. Beckett Sterling took a white handkerchief from his sleeve, frowned, approached me, and carefully wiped the blood splattered on my face until it was clean. Only then did he slowly wipe his own hands with a handkerchief. The biggest villain, Coraline Sterling, was dead. The ending should be over, but why was I still seeing Beckett Sterling before me? I should be going back now. But the strong smell of blood that hit me reminded me the game wasn't over yet. As I gazed into Beckett Sterling's dark eyes, a flood of thoughts suddenly came to mind. Beckett Sterling said to me, his eyes reddening, "But you must be mine, and you can only stay here." Elias Vanderbilt said with a smile, "Just as Miss Silas may be fond of me today, but tomorrow or the day after, she may admire someone else." Jackson Mercer coaxed me into saying, "I'm willing to stay here." Everything gradually became clear, and then Beckett Sterling's words struck like thunder, instantly waking me up. "Miss Silas, do you see? Coraline Sterling's death is not your way back." Beckett Sterling, amidst the corpses on the ground, could still look at me with gentle eyes. I said, "As long as Miss Silas stays, I'm willing to give her anything." Sure enough, Beckett Sterling, Elias Vanderbilt, and Jackson Mercer, the three NPCs in the game, had awakened. They resent me, resent my fickleness, so they are trying every means to trap me in the game. But I am not Silas Bennett, and I could never willingly stay here. I have parents and friends in the real world, and I have my own life. I absolutely cannot stay here. Looking at Beckett Sterling, I suddenly realized the main storyline of Otome games is never about other irrelevant characters, but about winning them over. But the current situation is something a simple strategy guide cannot resolve. Since I can't resolve this conflict, I can only escalate it and amplify it infinitely. I want the three of them to destroy each other.